Hello everyone, I'm Bahar, owner of Beauty Tangent, and in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about why I don't typically mention brands. Now, this is kind of a difficult topic because in this day and age we are so brand oriented. Whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, we want brands to recognize us. We want to share our opinions and reviews. We want to share a favorite product with a friend, or maybe sometimes give a negative review. And what better way than to call out a product by name and by brand? It can be difficult, especially in the direct sales community, because everyone is company based and who do you work for and what is the sort of the name trail or name dropping behind every company and every connection. So for me, I've had experience across the board. I've been in the industry for over 17 years. I know how important it is to use products and brands that have a good reputation, that have great formulations, that really have a lot of integrity in their company and their branding. And so I definitely have the utmost respect for the various companies and the products that I use and that I recommend. That being said, for my business and what I do, it's important for my clients to understand that I don't box myself in to any specific brand or company. I did try that for a while, not necessarily with one brand or one company, but with a smaller selection. And I noticed that it was affecting my credibility with clients. People tended to give me more positive feedback after they realized that I don't recommend any product or brand specifically. I make sure that my recommendations, my curated collections, and what I provide my clients is the best for them across the board. That means if I know there is an indie company or an online company or brand that is more beneficial to them and is not widely known, that doesn't matter. I may still include those products in a curated collection or offer my recommendations. If I know something can be more readily available at, say, a big box store like Sephora or Ulta, that's okay. It doesn't really matter in terms of the brand or how easy it is to access something. If it's good and it suits that client, then that's what I'll recommend. And it doesn't matter if it's a smaller company or a larger company. It doesn't matter if it's drugstore or high end. If I know that it is suited best for you, that's what I'll recommend. And I tend to err on the side of affordability and accessibility versus something that may be more expensive and harder to find, just because I want people to feel comfortable, get the biggest bang for their buck. I shop for people the way I would want, the way I shop for myself, and the way I would want someone to shop for me. If I know that I could have the same product for $20 or $5, and I was given the $20 option for basically the same formulation and the same result, I wouldn't be so happy, right? And I think my clients feel the same way. If they know that I could find them a more affordable product for the same result and similar formulation, why not save them money? And that's what I do. And a lot of times they'll get caught up in branding. I've had some clients say, I want you to find me the best mascara there is out there. I don't care how expensive it is. I heard the more expensive mascaras are better. Now, I'll give my own opinion if they ask for it, and I'll share my own advice and my perspective. But if that's what they want, then that's what they'll get. I'm happy to provide any client with what they're really looking for. But a lot of times people get caught up in the hype, as they say, and they get caught up in thinking that a certain brand is better than another simply because of the price tag or the prestige. There are a lot of luxury cosmetic products and companies, as well as handbags and clothing and jewelry and all of that. As women, we want the best, but we want them on a budget we can afford. If we can afford something very expensive, then why not? All the power to you if that's what you want to spend your money on and that's what your priority is. But for a lot of us, that's just not feasible. It's not a sustainable way to keep looking fresh and feeling good and looking great. So a lot of times I try to avoid the topic of branding and name dropping. It also means that what I share with you, I want you to understand why a product is beneficial to you, or why I love, or I'm raving about a certain product. It's because of the product itself. It's not because of the name. It's not because of the brand. If I look at something, I want to be able to use it, I want to be able to enjoy it, and I want to be able to share it with others. Now, there may be times where I do name drop and get brand specific. And for example, I'll be doing a video soon where I talk about my own personal skin, my sensitive skin, and brands that I cannot use. But I'm also going to be talking about the claims that these companies have, maybe the false advertising, or the fact that even though they may be claiming to be a sensitive skin brand, or their formulations and ingredient lists are completely transparent and no-brainers for people like me, that's not always the case. And so I want to bring awareness to people, and I want to share names specifically of companies that I believe aren't all they're cracked up to be. Because there are people just like me who believe the hype and try and experiment with sometimes very problematic results. And my sensitive skin reactions are nothing to joke about. Some of them are so bad that I cannot leave the house with the condition that my skin is in. So for something like that, I may go into further detail on branding and more company specifics. But for the most part, I'm not going to do that, because I want people to understand where I'm coming from, why I may choose one product versus another. And it's really about formulation, results, how they perform, and really has very little to do with necessarily price point or a name or a label. Some companies that are very luxurious and high-end, and they don't perform well at all. I've swatched, I've experimented, I've tested, I've talked to people, I've read reviews, and I don't understand the hype at all. I don't get it. I wouldn't pay for it. I wouldn't recommend that someone else pay for it. It's all about the name. It's all about the price tag. If someone thinks it's, a $50 or $70 product, it must be amazing. Little do they know that other companies are paying attention, and other companies have put out products that are quite similar, if not better in formulation and performance, for a fraction of the cost. Now, most people don't do the research, they're not experimenting, they're not in the industry to understand these things, but they're depending on people like me to do the work for them. And I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it for my clients. I love what I do. I love sharing my passion and enthusiasm for a product that I find is amazing. Anything that I recommend is something that I've already tested and tried myself. If I can't use it, I can't test the performance. I can't test the results. I can't test the longevity of a product. So if I can't use it right off the bat, doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad product. You may be able to use a product like that, but I can't. So I can't vouch for anything that I can't use myself. If I can use it, I want to be able to, number one, share it with you, maybe include it in a product collection. When I'm asking about their skin, doing a skin analysis, understanding their budget and their lifestyle, when we do a consultation, it's really important to go through that process. I get a lot of people who just want simply some recommendations. I'm going to the store today, tell me what I need to buy. And I don't really work that way. There is no difference from me telling you versus a girlfriend if I did it that way. And I know it can be frustrating for some people. They just say, well, I just want to go to the store. Can you just tell me what to buy? But that's not really how I work. If I did that, then what's to say you don't like something? You're going to have to turn around and return it. Why? Because I didn't really understand your skin. I didn't really understand your lifestyle needs. I didn't really understand the amount of time you need in order to take care of your skin and the whole getting ready process. So it's important for me to do consultations and a skin analysis and dig a little deeper in terms of what your needs are and what goals you'd like to achieve with your process of getting ready and your skincare regimen and all of that. So that's another reason why I don't get caught up in brands and name dropping, because it's really about finding something that works for you and not necessarily pointing you in the direction of one particular aisle in the store. So if you have any questions in terms of a specific brand, a company, learning a little bit more, of course you can Google and do your own research. If you'd like my opinion on something, or you just want to hear my take on a specific brand, or if I have experience, I most certainly can offer that to you. You can either comment below or contact me via any of my social media listed below in the bottom bar. I don't necessarily beat around the bush. I'll give my honest opinions on anything that I have experience with. If there is a company or a brand that I truly don't have experience with, I don't claim to know something that I don't know. I will always be upfront with you and say, you know what, I've never heard of that company or brand before, but I'd be happy to check into it and get back to you. And there are many times where I do. A client will reach out to me and say, do you know about this kind of brand or this company? And I'll say, you know what, I've never heard of that before. Let me do some research and I'll get back to you. And I do. When I'm, it may be something that I need to experiment on products. It may be something as simple as, reading about their company and their claims and formulations. That's more than enough for me to figure out that it's not something that I'm interested in. But usually I'll be able to, because of my experience and my time in the industry, I'll know how to decipher and discern the difference between a company's claims and their formulations and their practices versus someone who has no experience, especially in terms of skincare and cosmetics. They don't know what to look for. They don't know if something is a gimmick or is authentic and genuine. And that's where my expertise comes in. So I hope that clarifies a little bit more about why I don't typically go into branding specifics and why I don't name drop as much as maybe someone else does. And I really hope that my credibility and my authenticity comes through when I work with clients. It's really important for them to understand and for you all to understand that anything that I share is intended with your benefit, your budget, your lifestyle, and to help you improve on a regular basis, whether it's through products, practices, techniques, or just from the inside out. We all want to help each other improve on a daily basis. So I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.